Hello, you're welcome to my channel. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you for making our time to be here today. On this channel, we learn together. That's why it's called Learning with Naiba. The last episodes, we're learning how to wireframe. And okay, so do well to download Power BI Desktop. Yeah, we'll be using Power BI Desktop for this. So yeah, that is what it looks like. This is the Power BI desktop interface, and let me quickly take you through it. So this is the file, this is the home page or the home tab. Under the home tab you have all of this. You have the get data, you have these are the different kind of data you're going to get. Then this is transform data. So this transform data takes you to your Power Query, and you're going to get familiar with that very soon. And all of you have all of these. Then you have your insert tab, you have your modeling tab, you have all of those tabs, and they're all very useful. Okay, so we don't have any data here on the left because we are yet to um upload any data. This is our visualization. These are the different visuals we can pick, and this is how to edit them. This is how to format them. We'll be doing a lot of that later. These are the filters. We don't have any data, we don't have any visual, so we cannot see how to filter it. But in the course of this training, today or another day, we'll surely go through all of that. So for today, I have data. So you go to get data. If you're going to have this drop down. You have Excel if your data is an Excel workbook. You have Power BI data sets. You have all sorts of data. You even have web. If the data is on a website, you can use this option and get your data from there and work on it. It's that good. But for today, we're going to get our data. We're going to use Excel workbook. You have the option of going here directly if you want to get data from Excel. At work, I use more of SQL Server, and you can also get your data from here. If it's an Excel, if it's SQL, and get data from another source. So you have a lot of options. But for today, we'll be going this way because I'm kind of used to it. Yeah, so when you click on that, you have your Excel. So we connect. Okay. So my data is on my desktop. It's called world population. So that's the data I want to get. So you need to be a bit patient while it's loading. Yes, so there you go. So once your data is loaded here, you have the option of just load it. You have the option to just load it or to transform data. If your data is 100%, it's clean, it doesn't need any cleansing, doesn't need any transformation, everything is perfect just the way you want it, ready for visualization, then you just load it. But in this case, I haven't seen this data before, so I think the best thing to do is to click on transform data, take a look at it, and see if it's perfect for our use today. So it takes us to the Power Query interface. When I started, I used to just be confused. It was like moving from one room to the other, and you don't know which room you are in. But with time, you get to understand that, oh, here I'm on the dark side. By the way, that's my nickname, on the dark side. And then now I'm on the Power Query side. Okay, so this is our data, and we have country. So these are all the countries. This is how they rank. This is how they rank. I don't know if this rank is in alphabet. No, it doesn't look like alphabetical order. Looks like this ranking is according to the country with the highest population. Okay, so when you have columns like this, something you need to look out for is to be sure that they are in the right format. This is text. These are texts, and this is a text. This shows that the format here is text, so that's perfect. This is number, and you have whole number here. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect. So you're just checking to be sure that everything is in the right format. Let's say, for instance, let me see if we have a date in this data set. Okay, we don't have any dates. But let's say, for instance, this is a date, right? And instead of a date format, it comes in a whole number format. It's not, you're going to have performance issues. It's not going to perform optimally. Like if you're trying to do something that a date should do, you won't get that result on your visualization, in your formula. Everything will just not work. So you need to, that's when you're doing all the formula, the codes, the DAX formula, they would not work. And then also your visualization will not behave as you expect it to behave. So you need to be sure that everything is in the format it should be in. Okay, so let's assume this is a date column, and then it comes in a whole number. What you need to do is to click on this icon beside it, and then you um, select your date. This is going to throw out a lot of errors because these are not dates. But if in a case where these are dates and they are not in the right format, it's going to give you dates in the right format. And then so on this side of your query settings, you have all the steps that you have done. You have applied from the start. It starts by showing you the source where your data came from. So this data is from my desktop, neighbor desktop, world population. That's the name of the data set, and it was on my desktop, so it shows you the source. This is promoted headers because headers, my first row was not the headers. So Power BI in its intelligence promoted the first row to the headers. This is where I would have had to do that if it didn't do it for me. Okay, I would have had to click on here. You have use first row as headers, and you also have use headers as first row depending on which you want. If what is on, if this was supposed to be, all of this was supposed to be my first row and not headers, I would have used this, use headers as first row. Okay, so it has done that for us. It has promoted headers. Then this is what I did just now. I changed the type of this pop 2030 to dates, and it threw out errors because they are not dates. So to cancel anything you don't want, any step you don't want, that maybe you're after applying the steps, you see, oh, this is not what I need, you just cancel by by clicking on this red cross. You cancel, and then it's gone. That step is gone. Okay, so now we're back here. So we need to check our data. You need to think about your data. What are you trying to tell? What story are you trying to tell with your data? What do you need? What don't you have? What do you have? And then do a lot of transformations. For this data, I can see we don't have a date. Okay. All right. So um these these columns have population of 1980, population of 2000, population of 2010, all the way down to population of 2015. Okay, and then here we have the countries, we have the rank, we have the area. So I think we'd need to unpivot these columns so that we can see this so that we can see the countries by these dates. Okay, yeah. I know this because right now I'm doing a lot of unpivoting, so it's easy for me to pick it. But it's all right if it takes you time to realize, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. I think on pivots is on the transform side, on the transform tab. Yeah, as I said, I haven't looked at this data before because we're learning together. So I just want it to be as it is to you, as new as it is to you, to be to me also. Okay, so this is the year, these are the years, right? So you don't need this POP 1980, because if you leave this POP 1980, you will not be able um to format these years. Okay, let's try it. Let's try to format it to a date. It's not going to work because we have this text in front of it. So you do well to cancel it. And then what you need to do is remove this POP. I think this is population 1980, population 2000. So you remove it and then you leave the year. There are two ways I know you can remove this. You can split column. So you split column by number of characters, by position. Okay, let's try by number of characters. So we say our date, our year has 4 characters, and those 4 characters are as far right as possible. Yeah, they are the extreme right. Oh, good. So this gives you your year separate, and then it also gives you the POP. This is useless for us as far as this report is concerned because it's just population. So you can just go ahead and convert this to a date. However, let's try another way of doing it. So you cancel, as I said, to remove the last step. Okay, so another way to do this is to extract. I know that very well also because that's something I do a lot of. So you extract, in this case, you say last characters. That's the one we want to keep. We want to keep the last 4 characters. So count of 4. We want to keep the last characters. So yeah, so now we have our year. And then, as I said earlier, we need to change the format. You can't have years in, in the text format. So the right thing to do is to change it to a date format. So it gives us the first day of the first year of the first day of the first month of each year, which is all right because we just want to be able to to make it a date format. And since we don't have the exact dates the census was held to say this is the number in the world, it's just okay just to represent. And then this is the value. So this is just what we need. Yeah, this is beautiful, I think. So once you've done or everything is okay, just the way you want it, you come here, you close and you apply. And after you've done this and you have gone back to the other side and you realize, oh, I didn't do this, oh, I need this and I don't have it, you can always go back through your transform data and make all the corrections and come back again. There's no limits to the number of times you can go there and make corrections. So it's taking its beautiful time to load. We're going to wait for it. 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 Yes, loaded. So when you come here, because it's loaded, you're going to see your data, world population. You click on the arrow, you're going to have all the columns under your your table. If you had another table, you're going to have it here, and then you're going to have all the data. So as I said, I don't know if we had a walkthrough here. This is our model. That's the model. This is what it looks like. It connects 2 tables, builds relationships. I'm sure we'll do that on in a future class. Then this is our data view. This is our data view. You can do some transformation here also. So this is the dark side I was referring to, but it's always better to do it in the Power Query side. Okay, so this is our data, our clean data. This is our visualization, and then you have to think at this point, okay, so what do I want to show? What do I want to show with my data? So let's say we want to show year on year of how our of how of the growth in population. So here you click this will show you the different visualization, and you'll be able to pick the one that works perfectly for you. I think for now we'll work with this. If you try one and it doesn't give you the results you're looking for, you're not able to interpret the results, it doesn't look presentable, some information is lost, you can always feel free to try another visualization. And a pro tip or a starter tip. There's I used to use the question and answer a whole lot when I started, so that can help also. So here we have the value, which is a number, the population, and then I think we should use the date. Oh, we don't have a date. Okay, so another thing is if you want to use a particular, if you're still working on a particular visualization, you need to have this, you need to see that it is highlighted, that you're still there working, or else if you're out and a new one comes up, like what just happened now, we were not looking for a new visual, we're supposed to remain here. So you click on it and you stay there. When you're done, you click out if you want a new one. So for now we're still here, but we just realized that our date is named attributes, and that is not good enough. So we go back to our transform data. We want it to be named appropriately so that we can understand easily what we are doing. So we want our columns properly named. The date has a name that is not date, so that's why we're back here to correct it to date. Then we can close and apply again. Okay, all right, so it loads and then it saves it as date. Oh, great, so that's date. Okay, so we have our value and we have our dates. Why? I don't know why it didn't show. Value. So in this case, we need to go back and check why isn't value showing? Is it in the right format? Because it should show some data, shouldn't it? Whenever something doesn't look right, something is not responding as you expect it to, you would want to check. Is it well formatted? Is everything okay? Yeah, now you see. So value is not going to come up because it is showing as a text instead of a whole number. So whenever anything is misbehaving, always remember to just check. The first thing to do is to check that it is in the right format. Okay, so our value was not behaving well, so we need to allow it to load. So we have our date, now we have our value. We picked a bar chart, so I don't know why it is showing like that. We don't want to see quarter, we don't want to see month. I hope it behaves better this time. Okay, I just click and unclick and go, well, perfect. And unclick and click until I see. Sometimes it just like it's thinking, okay, so we don't want to see the day, we don't want to see the quarter. It makes our work kind of clumsy. All right, perfect. So this just simply shows you that in 1990, the world population was 4.2. When you hover around it, the information comes out better. In year 2000, world population was 6.1. And then in year 2050, the world population will be 9.7. So you want to see with this information how the various countries fared, right? So we have the country here. Okay, so you put them on your legend. So you have like, that is what makes the cluster to cluster. No, sorry, the stacked. That's what makes the stacked bar charts to stack. So you have China with the largest population. You can easily see that. Then you have Brazil. Then you have Bangladesh. So this is easy to understand. You just hover and then every information you need, it's is available for you. And another way to do this, if you don't want to have too many colors and you don't want to have too many information on your visualization, you click out, you come here for your slicer. Yeah, that's a slicer. And then, okay, no, before we do that, we go back here. We go back to this report and then we take out um the legend. Okay, so we're going to slice this report by country. So this is our slicer. You click on it and then you select country. So this gives you a drop down of all the countries. And let's say for instance you want to see Afghanistan. You click on it and this is how it has fared. You click on Barbados and then you see the information you want. You click on any country, you click on Turkey, and you see how the population has fared. So this is another way of representing it with your slicer, or you can also do the stack so that you have everything together and you have all your information. So um this works for today. This works for today. In the next class, we will show you, I will be going through a whole lot of other things you can do with Power BI. We'll go through how to create a dashboard, an entire dashboard. We'll go through a whole lot of deeper cleansing, a whole lot of data, yeah, cleansing, transformations, and all of that in our next. So much for joining. Thank you so much for your time, and I'd like to see your comments. I'd like to see you I'd like to see you subscribe to my channel. I'd like to see you encourage me to do more so that we'll keep learning and growing together. Do have a great day. Bye.